Hello guys, this is Justin McGolan and welcome back to JDM Professionals. Now I meant to do this at the beginning of this month, but I wasn't able to because I've been super busy with my job and other videos and all that. I recently made a video about my AM Trace experience for the rest of May. I said the rest of May because my first video on AM Trace involved from late April to the first half of May. So I got that. So I got the second half done. Feel free to check that out. Now we get to talk about my experience of AM Trace in the month of June, cause it was a great month there. So let's talk about it. Okay, to start off for June, I basically was working at Jackson Heights again on June 2nd. Now that day was sort of interesting. My teammate and I was at the podium at first, but then eventually we did some canvassing. So we basically just walking around and walking around. I mean, not too much just happened. I don't remember if we got any appointments there, but I think we made some of them. But it was an interesting day there. So then on Thursday, June 3rd, I was at Traverse Park. I was actually at Traverse Park the next 3 days. 3 days. So, which is really good because it's very close to me, and it's good to have a good place 3 times in a row. I think I made some appointments at the Traverse Park on June 3rd. I mean, it's been a while, so a bit of my memory for some of those days are a little bit hazy, so not 100% sure. But it was a good day at Traverse Park. It was good to look around there, especially since they updated it. So then I went to Traverse Park again at June 5th. Now this time around, I believe on that Saturday there were some festivals and live music around there. So it was the Tangent Grabber that brought people to the site and all that, and it was so amazing. I believe I made some appointments on Saturday, June 5th. I don't remember much about the first days of June, but there's one interesting thing that I remembered at June 5th. Like, if you watched my last video on AM Trace in May, you may notice that on Memorial Day, I met this girl that works at the vaccine bus that was able to find her way to the bus because of me, and she was supposed to keep in contact so we can meet up with each other to help her find home, but I wasn't able to. Luckily, she forgave me all that. Well, I got to see her again while I was working at Traverse Park on Saturday. I've been seeing her I saw her at the park and all that, and when I was at my lunch break, she was hanging out with me and all that, so we hung out with each other, and we were talking and all that, getting to know more about each other and all that. So while I was eating lunch, she was in the middle of a call, and when she was at a call, she basically showed her phone. She basically showed me on their phone to let that person know she was with me and all that. At first I thought she was taking a picture of me and all that, but she did mention it was a call, and that was really cool and all that. And then after she made that call, she asked for a selfie, and which we did and all that. So that was very sweet for what she did and all that. And she basically treated me like I was a famous celebrity and all that. It was good to talk to her and all that. So then after lunch, both of us went back to work and all that. So then we went through our day and finished work and all that. And since we finished early, I thought, why not find her at the park and spend some time with her there. And I did. She was sitting at the steps and all that. So I was sitting down, I was chilling, and we talked more and all that. We talked about our taste in music, about our lives, and also that interesting stuff and all that. Like, we were been there for a while. Like, I was sitting there, like, instead of going home for dinner and all of that. I spent like an hour plus sitting at the park, talking to her, and all that. I mean, like, she's really a good person, and I was glad I was able to spend some time with her, and all of that. It's good that we got to work at the same place, and we can take the time to talk to each other and spend some time, and all that. So it was great. So of course I worked at Traverse Park for the third time in a row on Sunday, June 6th. It's like they didn't have live music, but we were still having a decent day. I believe we made some appointments and all that. Again, I really don't remember, but there are two things I remember about that day. On that day, my free ice cream truck luck continued. Cause on that day I gave an ice cream truck mask, and I got free ice cream once again. But the thing is that even if I didn't get the mask, he was gonna get free ice cream anyways for the workers and all that, which is really cool. And right by it, there was a taco truck, and we got tacos for free as well. Like, I already bought my own lunch to eat, and I still managed to get the taco and the ice cream. Like, I literally said in the chat, like, I'm gonna get fat tonight. Like, the taco was okay, but the ice cream was really good. It was good to have free those free stuff, and I was glad to able to have that, and all of that. So, and of course I saw the girl from the vaccine bus again. It was like, we weren't able to spend as much time as last time, but we got to see each other. It was like that. I was gonna go to the podium, but then I stopped by to say hi, and she said hi too, and we also talked for a little bit. So like, I was at the podium, she was looking at me, and I was looking at her, and all that, but we were still doing our thing and all that. So it was good to see and all that. And of course, after work, I spent a little bit of time with her again. Not too much time, because I had things to do, and she was also busy, but we spent a little bit more time there. I mean, unfortunately, it was the last time I saw her. It's like the thing with her is that shortly after we spent some time at the bus, she had complications with the bus, because for the vaccine bus didn't hire her. She was basically working for Language Bank, and they made her work at the bus. A month after she got hired and working with the vaccine bus, they promised to give her a check and all that. A month came, but she never got it. She kept emailing them and asking about the check, and she still waited for the check. And then she let me know that until she gets her check, she's never working for the bus again, which is really sad, because she was a really good person, and I spent less time with her and all that. Of course, we still talked a lot through the phone, through Facebook, and all of that, but still, it wasn't as good as just spending time with her, because the time I had with her was great and all that. So I was very sad that she had to take a break, and we were still figuring out the Language Bank. Like there was one point where I even stopped by the vaccine bus one of those days, like during my day off, and told them about the situation with her, and asked if things didn't go well, if they were able to start paying for her and all that. Of course, they weren't able to help, especially since they were super busy, but I tried. Luckily now she's back with them, but not as much, and things are still not doing too well. So I'm still waiting there. So whenever she and I hang out again, it's yet to be determined, but I really hope she's doing well and all that. Then on Monday, June the 7th, I was working at Corona Plaza once again. Of course, we're walking around. We spent some time at the podium. I believe we made some appointments and all that. Don't remember how many, but it was good there and all that. I mean, it rained a bit when we were out, but not too bad. Fortunately for the vaccine buzz, they made like 110 shots that day, which is really good. Now I'm getting to the parts when I start to remember things. 'Cause on Wednesday, June 9th, I was working at Woodside near the 65th Street train station, and let me tell you about what was going on that day. It was an interesting day. There were very few of us that day. Like, besides me, do you know how many people were at that site? 5 of them. 5! Me and 5 others were working. And then later that day, 2 of them had to leave early to go somewhere, so it went down to 4. It was super small and all that. You may be thinking we were gonna have a difficult time, right? Well, fortunately for us, we didn't. Because despite the small amount of people at the site, we were still able to get a lot of work done. Thanks to my knowledge of the site and me leading the way to places to get masks, hand sanitizers, and face shields, and also others doing the same, it made things easier. I think I made appointments that day, but the most important thing is that we were able to get a lot done despite the small amount of people. And at that point, I've been there for 2 months. Like, I've done a lot for this company, and I've been there for a while. It's like, it was only been 2 months, but I was working there as if I was working there for years. I did so much up to the point that some of my co-workers literally thought I was a supervisor or team lead. Like, I am neither of those things. Sure, I have the ability to lead, and I've shown that at times, but I am not a supervisor nor a team lead. I'm just a canvasser, just like everyone else, doing my job and getting work done. So that was an interesting day. And then we got Thursday, June 20th, and I was working at Jackson Heights once again. And let me tell you about that day. It's like, if you thought Woodside was great, that day in Jackson Heights on June 10th it was even better, because we got over 150 vaccinations at the vaccine bus. 150 vaccinations, and we got a lot of work done without our supervisor, and it was because she was working another site, and it was just insane. It's like, on that day, it was me and the team lead, which I didn't know about till much later. Thanks to our leadership and our hard work, we were able to get a lot done and all that. We literally did the impossible, and it was so amazing. We all pushed hard, and we worked hard for the day. It's like that day in Woodside and the day at Jackson Heights has proven that no matter the situation, we will always get a lot done, and anything is possible. It's like, we just gotta believe it, we just gotta see it, and we did so well and all that. Like, both the team leader and I did so well with leading the charge and helping people out, and there was even one other canvasser that was dominating appointments of over 10, getting her and her team close to a vac trick, which is 19 appointments in one day. The whole team for that day has been unbelievable and amazing, and I really appreciate it. I was glad I was able to help out to get work done, and I'm glad, and it makes me more glad to be part of this great company. Like, everyone should be proud of this moment. In fact, later on, I was so impressed with the team lead that I actually nominated that person for employee recognition. And it did make the June newsletter, and surprisingly, I got recognized as well. Like, I wasn't even trying to nominate myself, yet I got up there anyways, which is just amazing. It just means a lot, and all of that. And also, another interesting has happened during that day. It's like, while I was canvassing on 78th Street near the post office, I managed to meet Shakar Krishan, who is now the city council for District 25. Yes, he was there and made a press conference there. Sadly, I wasn't able to give him masks, sanitizers, and all that, but I was able to talk to him to say hi and all of that. It was great to see and all that, considering I was helping out from Shaylee Severino and John Cho for City Council. I believe I made the vaccine appointments for that day and all that. So then I work at 82nd Street at Jackson Heights again on June 12th. And June 12th was really great. It's like while I was canvassing that day, I managed to talk to not one, not two, not three, not four, but six of the 9 candidates for City Council 25. Yes, I managed to talk to Shakar Krishan and Yeandi Chen, Carolyn Tran, Fatima Bariab, Liliana Mello, and Alfonso Quiroz. And if that's not interesting enough, guess what? I got to see inside Mello's campaign bus. It's like someone was working for that bus, and I offered a free mask, hand sanitizer, and face shield, and they said they have a lot, and they allowed me to go inside to take a look. That was just amazing to see almost every candidate for City Council District 25. Like, how did I get here? Like, how did this happen? I don't know how I got here. It's like, why was this happening? I just can't believe it. It was really an honor to get to talk to them, and it's a moment I would never forget. And of course, I got some appointments there as well. Don't remember how many, but it was a great day. So then on Sunday, June 13th, I was working at Flushing Meadows Corona Park again. And this time, I know it was a great day right there. It's like, for my team, we made 10 walk-ins. And it was just amazing there. It's like, we were on fire. In fact, everyone did so good is that the bus made 130 vaccinations. 45 of them were all by AM Trace that day. And it was so good and amazing. It's like we were dominating and all that. And it was so amazing. Of course, on that day was the last time I saw my favorite supervisor and all that. It's like I never got to see her again because she left so later on and all that. It's a shame because I really enjoyed working with her and all that. From spending time at Wharf Street when my foot was injured to a lot more time seeing each other and all that. It was great. So since she's not here anymore, I would like to give a shout out to Calicia. Calicia, if you're watching this video, thank you for all you do with AM Trace. You'll never be forgotten and all that. And I had a great time working with you and getting to know you and all that. And just in fact, after we finished that day, one of the canvassers actually drove me and Calicia to the train station, which was really cool and all that. So a very good day. And then there's Monday, June 14th. We were working at the Flushing Library. And oh my god, it was intense. It was another day where there's not a lot of people. But despite that, we got a lot done and all that. In fact, my team has made a total of 8 walk-ins. Yes, we brought people. We got 8 vaccinations for the team, and it was so amazing, and all that. But not only that, but if you guys know Flushing, it is an Asian-based community, and when it comes to masks, sanitizers, and face shields, they're gonna want a lot of those and all that. I'm not saying that to be racist or anything, but it's the fact, because when I was spending a lot of time at the tent, people kept coming and coming and coming. We were giving away the masks, sanitizers, and face shields like non-stop. It's like there was barely enough time to just relax and catch our breath and take a break and all that. It's like we had to keep moving. It's like we didn't even have time to think. It's like we were like mask, sanitizer, face shields, mask, sanitizer, face shields, and all that. It's like it was like witnessing Black Friday all over again, minus the murders and violence, of course. Yeah, but it was really a lot, and it was another solid day full of dominance and all that. Then I went back to Traverse Park again on June 16th. Yeah, June 16th was a solid day. I believe we made some appointments. I don't remember much for that day, but it was a very good day and all that. Sorry I'm giving vague information for several days, but it's been a while and I've forgotten a lot and all that. That's why we're doing this video, so we can try to remember those times. When I was working at Traverse Park on June 16th, one of the canvassers actually got fully vaccinated at the bus after work. After work, she went to the bus and got her second dose, so she became fully vaccinated. And good for her to be part of the vaccinated club. And then I went back to Traverse Park again on Thursday, June 17th. At the beginning of the day on June 17th, I was assigned to do some training by the New York City Health and Hospitals. So I had to stop doing what I'm doing and take the training and all that. It was unfortunate there because I wasn't able to charge my phone and all that, and I needed to find a place to go. The training was interesting. We had trouble with the survey to fill out at the very end, but it was interesting. And then we were canvassing around and all that. I think we made some appointments. Then later there was a point where I had to stop by Starbucks to charge my phone because it was dying and all that. And while I was there, my teammate was like to wait right there. He'll go outside and distribute a face shield and all that. So I was waiting, and I felt like he took a while and all that. And then he came back with more supplies, and I was like, "What? Did you go back to the tent by yourself and get more supplies? You're not supposed to do that. We're supposed to go back there together and all that." Thankfully, my teammate didn't get in trouble and all that. Mainly because he was doing his own thing with the supplies and all that. He was like, "No need to worry. We're doing our job, helping the people and all that." And he was preaching and all that. It's like, it's fine and all that. I mean, he's a really good guy and all that, and I enjoyed working with him and all that. Of course, Friday was off. Normally I'm supposed to work on Saturday, but on Saturday 19th, I took the day off because I attended the baby shower and all that. So then, I went to Corona Plaza on Sunday, June 20th, and in that day, we dominated and all that. It's like, my teammate is actually pretty cool. He was recently new. I don't know if he started the week before and all that. So, and we were talking and we were chilling and we were having a good time and all that. And on that day, we made 10 vaccine appointments, and it was so amazing and all of that. It's like he brought in the energy and positivity and all that, and it made the day great and all that. We were dominating and we're on fire there, and I was very impressed to see what we have done. And it was very good because that marks the last day of working with AM Trace. It was an amazing, it's sad that it had to end, but it was an amazing journey, and it's a journey I'll never forget. Getting 10 appointments, it's the best way to end my services with AM Trace. And that is what I would have said, except they extended us. We got extended to July 31st, which is good. So that day on June 20th is not the last day, which means I'm able to keep working and all that. So on June 21st, I was working at Corona Plaza again. I mean, the progress we did that day was not as dominant as the day before, but my team did very good. We made like 4 walk-ins. Not as good as 10, but it was also a good day and all that. Then on Wednesday, June 23rd, I was working in Astoria once again. I don't remember much of how much my team got done, but I think we made some appointments and all of that. We did a lot of walking and all of that, and it was a good time there. Then on Thursday, June 24th, I was working on 90th Street and Elmhurst Avenue, a very new location that I never worked at before, and it was a great one. And so it's like we're walking around, seeing stuff and all that. I think we might have made some appointments there. Don't remember exactly how many, but I think we made some appointments there and all that. So it's always a good day there. And then on Saturday, June 26th, I was working at Washington Square Park. Now, interesting fact, for that day, I was originally supposed to work at Kensington Avenue, but it was bad and I didn't want to go. Then you may be thinking, did I post an exchange and I got it? No. We got an email saying that there's a spots open for Washington Square Park. If anyone wants that site, email saying that you want to go. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, I volunteer as tribute. And then I got Washington Square Park, and it wasn't too good about that, because let me tell you about Washington Square Park. Like, as I was mentioned about Flushing, it's an Asian-based community, which means they need a lot of masks and face shields and all that, and we're able to give away a lot and all that. Again, not saying that to be racist or anything, I'm just stating the facts and all that. As for Washington Square Park, it was definitely the opposite of Flushing, because Washington Square Park is pretty much anti-mask and anti-vaccine and all that. It's like everywhere you walk around, there's no masks. We had a difficult time getting rid of the supplies, and because people didn't want it, and they basically keep giving us the "we're vaccinated" excuse, which is dumb, because just because someone is fully vaccinated doesn't mean they should stop wearing the masks and all that. It's like we can't stop wearing masks until our state says we can stop wearing masks. But until then, we have to keep doing it. It's the law. It's the right thing to do and all that. Like, there was even a point when I was canvassing and I was offering the guy a mask and all that. And and he was like, why are you giving him, what for? And I was telling him about stuff about the New York City Health and Hospitals giving people masks and all that, and he says, why do I need a mask and all that? And in my mind I was like, just say no then, you jerk. It's just like we had a difficult time, and the fact that we almost got rid of everything, and the fact that my team made several appointments, I think two or three, is honestly surprising and all that. And while we were there, the Teletubbies came along at Washington Square Park. It was a good moment and all that, and it was good to see them and all that. And then Mother Nature decides to be a jerk there because it was raining on and off and all that. It's like close to the lunch break, it was raining hard and we were in the tent and all that. Then as soon as I left the tent to have lunch, it stopped and I was like, you son of a gun. And then as soon as I finished lunch, it rained again. I was like, God dang it, Mother Nature! Why do you hate us so much? Leave us alone! Make up your mind about the weather! And then once we went back to the tent, it stopped again. And then before we went back to Canvas, I was like, how much you guys want to bet? How much you guys want to bet that it's going to start raining again as soon as we walk out of the tent? Well, thankfully it didn't, and we were able to get work done. Now, interesting about that day is like after we finished work, my supervisor was still waiting for the van. It's like everyone had left, but I was willing to stay because she couldn't do it because I didn't want her to do everything by herself and all that. And on that day, if you guys remember Washington Square Park so well, on June 26th, that was the day that we had the Gay Pride Parade in Washington Square Park. We had protests, peaceful protests and all that. And shortly after we finished work, the protests started to begin. And it was packed around and all of that. And then the van finally arrived like 30 minutes later, but the problem it was on the other side and all of that. So my supervisor and I had to grab supplies and go past the line of protesters to bring the stuff to the van. Then we go by the line of protesters again, and then get the stuff and wash, rinse, repeat until everything was in the van and all that. It's like, it was insane. But thankfully, my supervisor and I didn't get hurt, and we didn't get killed, and we thankfully did not get COVID and all that. Like, it was a good day despite people not taking the pandemic seriously in that place. So then on June 27th, I ended up working at Kensington. I was originally supposed to go to McCarran Park, but they gave us Kensington instead at the last second, and I was super annoyed there. So about June 27th, like where our site was, it was pretty much dead. It's like not many people came around and all that. And the stores we went to, we had to walk a long time and all that. There was even a point where my teammate and I walked all the way to Prospect Park. It was a long walk for us to go, but we were able to get things done, and I believe we made some appointments there. And something funny, and while we were there, we were looking at some of the exchange notes and all that, and then we saw the funniest exchange notes ever. So there was this guy that was supposed to work at Prospect Park, but they moved him to the another site, and then he posted an exchange, and in the notes he literally said, Y'all did me dirty. Give me Prospect Park back. It's like everyone was laughing so hard. Like I was laughing so hard. And the canvassers were laughing so hard. Even my supervisor was laughing so hard. Like, it was the funniest thing we have ever seen. I mean, like, I didn't want to go to Kensington, but it was not that bad and all that. I just wish I was working at McCarran Park. But hey, it is what it is. So then on Monday, June 28th, I was working at South Richmond Hill. Another news site that I haven't been before. It was a bit hard to go there, and it's not really my preferred option, but it's the best option out of the ones that I got. Oh, forgot to mention, speaking of the sites, like starting in June, they started this new thing called open shifts. How it works, they give us locations on certain days, and then we have the right to request the sites that we go to, and then we mostly get what we want and all that. It was a great idea, and it was super convenient for everyone and all that. So I was working on South Richmond Hill, and then I had training again. So once again, I had to stop what I was doing and do the training. But now the interesting fact about the now before we talk about that, I got to tell you something very interesting. I forgot exactly what day it was, but some point in June. It's like I was at my grandma's and I was about to get ready to go home. Then my mom texted me and asked, did I order anything? And I was like, no. Why? And she said, there's a package for me. It's like there was one time where I got a package for no reason and all that. So then I walked home and then I looked at the package and I recognized the name and I was like, it's AM Trace. Yes, AM Trace has delivered something. What is it? I'll show you. The first thing that they delivered for me is an AM Trace bag. It's like it's a black bag sponsored by AM Trace and all that. It's a really cool bag, and ever since I got it, I used it to place the masks and hand sanitizers, which made things easier for me and all that. It's very useful. And you know what's also useful? They also gave me a portable phone charger. Now how this works is like you have this and you plug it in there and you plug it for your phone and it charges your phone. You don't need a wall or a socket to plug the phone in and all that. Like, so now I don't have to bring my charger and then look for a place to charge my phone again. I can just take this and then when I need to, plug it in and all that, and it's gonna charge wherever I go, and it's very useful and all that, and I'm so happy that I got this. So then when I was doing the training, I plugged in to charge my phone. The sad thing is that portable charger died, but I was able to charge the portable charger later on and got some power into it, so it was super useful. So the next time I'm doing a training during my job, I can just plug this thing in and not worry about losing battery and possibly having my phone die before I finish work. So after I did my training, I went back to work and all that. I was walking around and all that, trying to get familiar with the area and all that. I believe he made some appointments there. It's like it was difficult to get people there, but it was a good day, and it was interesting to see South Richmond Hill and all that. And also for the package, I think they also gave me seeds to grow and all that. At first I thought it was weed at first, but I was later told it was seeds. And last but not least, on June 30th, I went back to Woodside once again. What's interesting is that Originally, our supervisor was supposed to be at the site, but she wasn't able to because she was busy with some things. So instead, one of the people from HR took over. So we were working a lot and all that. Sadly, only 2 people went to the vaccine bus there. It was sad, but on the bright side, we were able to get lots of supplies done. Like, there was even a point to the very end where we got too many boxes of masks, and then someone from the vaccine bus stopped by and asked me, do we have any masks that we could use? And then I just gave him a whole box. Like, I'm not supposed to do that, but when we're running out of time with a lot of stuff, like, you would have to take risks. Like, I took that risk there. And it actually worked out at the very end. We were able to finish all the supplies right on time. Like, I basically saved the day there. Like, if it wasn't for me giving the bus a box of masks, we would have been forced to work overtime. But thankfully we didn't and all that. I don't know if some of the people that went to the vaccine bus that day were done by my team or someone else, but again, we didn't get a lot of vaccinations, but we tried our best with very little people and all of that. So, and also in that package there was a message on it, and in that box it said, "A year ago we set out with a singular focus: support public health through the greatest emergency of our generation. For most, 2020 was a forgotten year. A year where we felt lost, confined, and afraid. For those reasons, Trace embarked on a mission to provide hope, to provide light, to provide support in an effort to mitigate the spread of an emergent disease with no apparent pathway forward. As the pandemic continues, so does our work, although now through the lens of hope brought by vaccine. We remain committed to the public's health and to our mission to alleviate the burdens placed on organizations in place to protect it. Trace will continue in our work to support COVID-19 related services nationwide, but we'll also look forward to our future and how to best support public health. We strive to become an organization best suited to buoy the public health community's response to further future pandemics, public health emergencies, and disasters. The journey here has not been easy. Do not underscore the grit and sacrifice the work has required of you during this pandemic. It has demanded late nights, mandatory overtime, weekend meetings, and holidays spent on the phone with COVID-19 patients in lieu of family. I condemn you all for the dedication you have to helping the cause. Trace continues to offer elevated services to our partners, our communities, and our families, proven by the more than 250,000 households with whom we engaged in the last 12 months. And I read it all on that box, and all I can say is truer words have never been spoken. Like, if this doesn't best describe AM Trace and its mission, I don't know what does. But I'm thankful for being a part of it, and I will continue to help out with the community, make sure others are safe, and to put an end to the pandemic. So that has been the entire AM Trace experience for June. June was a very interesting, productive month, and I really enjoy it. And I'm so excited that I'm staying at work as the program gets extended to July 31st. Will it get extended again after that? Only time will tell. But either way, I will continue to help out the community in order to protect others and to get them vaccinated and all that. So of course, after July is finished, I'll get to work on talking about my experience for July. So stick around for that. But until then, this has been Justin McGolan. And please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you, and God bless America.